from Bangalore University. I has a total experience of 26 years. He has worked as resident network engineer in IPCL Baroda for 3 years. Worked as a computer network engineer in Saudi Arabia for 10 years. MashaAllah. Ran computer sales and service business in Saudi Arabia since 8 years. He started IDET International School in 2014. From the first 2 years, time for India has published as Best Emerging School in a special annual school survey edition. Best School Award by Telangana TV in 2015. Best School Cause, Best Social Cause Award by AskShamapedia.com search engine 2016. Award for Quality Education and Moral Value of Implementation in a School by Center for Industry and Trade Development 2017. Received Abul Kalam Excellence Award in 2017. MashaAllah. School Excellence Leadership Award by CD Delhi 2018. Best Education and Public Service Award by Dr. Zakir Hussain Memorial Committee 2018. Best School Award by Telangana TV 2018. Avantika Dr. Radhakrishna Samman 2018. Value for Money Award by Education Today magazine 2018. Apart from this, school students have excelled in several inter-school competitions and reached up to national level English language, sports, awards, and further a number of things. I have no need to introduce him. MashaAllah, he's got so much vast experience. Definitely, our teachers will be benefited from his aspiring talk. Now, I invite him, sir, please have a elaborate session with our teachers. This definitely it will be helpful to our teachers and students if they go really to schools after reopening and implementing this real word and real spirit. Welcome you, sir, on behalf of Umayyad and myself. Now I hand over the session to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much for your introduction and thank you for giving me this chance. Every week, we are having different sessions. One by one, we are covering topics related to very much school. Today is the most crucial and most critical topic, that is administration and management in school. See, everything starts in any institution from the administration or the management. Now, the management is the one between the parents and the school staff. So the management is the one who has to manage both the parties here amicably with respect to the school's purpose, mission, and vision. So the management will be between the academics as well as the administration also. Now here we'll discuss about the staff as well as the parents related to the management in any institution. The basic funda here will be that the type of management will be in the school, the same will replicate in the hierarchy there, whether it is with the parents or whether it is with the staff. If some management persons or the main principal or anyone is a very harsh man or harsh person, then the staff's behavior will also be the same way, whether it is with the students or with the parents. If the management is understanding, positive, and progressive, the same will replicate with their staff. So the management's responsibility is very strong. We can say they are the stem of the tree. Now, the way this stem behaves, the tree will grow in that way. Like, for example, I will say that if the management don't give a clear picture about the vision and mission of the school to their staff, then the staff will act on their own and according to their understanding. Then later on, the management cannot blame the staff saying that you did not do this or you did this wrong. So, what I suggest is before the start of the year itself, you please give clarity about the responsibility of that particular staff which you have had and what you are expecting out of her or him. Once you give this clarity, then it becomes easier for the staff to perform better. Many a times, what happens is that any staff, if they are underperforming or they are going in a wrong direction, it will be 90 or 99%, I can say, out of the ignorance of what is expected from that staff. So when you treat anyone, you please have to treat in that way. You cannot blame. See, blaming will not help. Blaming or just replacing the staff, that will not help, because that is the easier way of doing things. And the problem in which you are today, you might land in the same tomorrow, or it might become worse because the new person might be better, might not be better, or might be worse. So, if you have hired someone and you feel that they have the capability and they have the experience, then you try to utilize them in a correct way. So, the point here is that you have to give clarity for which that staff is hired. Now, other problem what happens is in the school, you might be having any 40, 50 staff, maybe 100 or more, whatever it is. Then there will be problems in between these staffs. They don't cooperate sometimes. Sometimes they might even confront each other also. Now, here, the management's responsibility is to resolve the issue amicably and make them understand that here making relations is not the highest priority. Instead, fulfilling the responsibility is the highest priority. In the process, sometimes you might make relations, you might take sides, but that is not the main purpose of you being in the school. If you make them realize that point, to a greater extent, that will subsidize. So, this is common with most of the institutions. But as a management, your responsibility is to resolve it and make them understand the purpose and the responsibility of each staffer. For example, if there is an in charge and under that in charge you might have 10 to 15 staff members, in from that 2 3 might not like that in charge, and there might other way also possible that in charge might not like one staff and keeps complaining regularly about that staff. So as a school principal or the one who is managing the school, it becomes your responsibility that you have to resolve it amicably, and the best way is make them clear the responsibilities and the expectation that the institution is having out of them. This way, they will come back in the correct direction. Also, sometimes what happens is you have a good setup, a good team, and some new induction is required in that. That then it is common tendency or human tendency that anything new people try to oppose. So the new person who has come might have a better talent from all the team members who are already there as seniors, and this new staff might start performing in a better way. But the old seniors, they might not like her to overperform them or to be better than them. Some many times what happens is they try to oppose such situations. So as a manager, as the school principal who has a larger purpose, will have to resolve it and make them understand that this is required for the growth of the institution, and you must have to cooperate with each other. See, another part very important is that what happens whether the in charges or the principal or the one who are there as a higher authority, they try to endorse their rules or they try to force themselves over the lower staff members. So this is a very wrong thing. Whether you are a principal or you are an in charge or anyone who is authoritative, your purpose or you being in the institution is not to enforce yourself or to force someone to do something. See, if you are trying to force someone to do something, the most common thing is that until the force is there, there will be a change. Now, once this force is not there, then they will come back to their old status. So that is the reason you don't try to apply force and get the things done. That must be the last thing in your institution to do because force will not make someone do the work. The best way is that they have to like you, they have to respect you, and out of respect, they have to do something. Then, in that case, you will have a better productivity, you will have good results in this approach. So, what I say is, you might be authoritative, you might have all the power to show off yourself, but still, you must make them understand that everyone here are with a purpose and the other person or your staffer he has all the potential and experience and the knowledge to perform the best. Now here you can understand that as a management, as a principal or an in charge, your highest job is to motivate your staff. So you must always focus and try to do by in this way. Yani you must be a motivational person. So motivating and giving them confidence and appreciating your staff will bring wonders in your institution. You always try to have this way instead of showing your authority or enforcing them or putting fines or things. These things you must have to the at the end, at the as a last thing. Like in the classroom, while teacher is teaching or trying to maintain discipline, teacher will not use or cannot use the force at the first step itself. So they have to utilize all the means, all the good means to make the child understand. And that is the same thing what as a principal or an in charge or a management person you need to do with your staff. So you must become a motivation person. Apart from this, right now we are speaking most of the thing about our staff and how to manage and maintain. Now there is another party who is also there in the school, that is the parents. Now, parents, they have certain kind of responsibility which they don't understand. Many parents have their own thinking of sending a child to school and the expectations also. Like some parents, they come and say, my child is spending most of the time in your school. So my expectation is that you have to complete my child in terms of academics, non-academics, character building, even having the lunch, having whatever it is, yani. They feel that everything once they have just uh, joined the school and everything will have to come to their child automatically. It is nothing like that. Everyone has a part to play. The parent has a part to play and the school has a part to play. So during the PTM, when some parent comes and even with some problems, not only in PTM, in between, the first thing is you must listen. You must not start defending immediately. This will make the other person to give more strong reasons to prove his point. So you just acknowledge, okay, you have come with this problem. This doesn't mean that this problem exists in your school, but still you have to listen first. Sometimes you might also take a notebook and start noting down. This will give a very good feeling to the other person and he might subsidize. Now, in some of our management classes also, we have seen some new techniques like 4 to 1 or 5 to 1. What is this 4 to 1, 5 to 1? Means when some person is coming to the school with complaints, means the parent of any child, when they come to complain, then you must take four good things from him about your school first. You have to tell them that we have this kind of rules. You can make this kind of rule in your school. Like you say four good things first, then you come with your complaint. While counting these four good things, the person automatically he will become weak with his problem and he will not have that kind of intensity with which he has come or the anger with which he has come here. Sometimes there might not be any kind of problem, but some kind of personal ego some parent might be having with some staff member. So in this case, then still you have to acknowledge, yes, yeah, I can understand your problem. You have to start in that way. But at the end, you must make them realize that your staff was only doing her responsibility or his responsibility. So you cannot speak to the staff in that way because they have their limitations of power. So if any such problem is there, instead of arguing with the staff or confronting with the staff, they can come down to you and speak to you. See, if you acknowledge or if you write down their problem, then any person will be more than happy. Then after that, next day, if you just give a call or any one of your admin person gives a call saying that, okay, this problem has been resolved, we have taken this kind of action. Two words from your school will bring wonders, will make wonders. So you please, Yani, follow these principles wherein instead of confronting the parent because the parent unknowingly or knowingly has come with some kind of problem. It's our responsibility that we need to make them understand the actual picture or actual scenario. Sometimes they might be correct also. In that case, still you have to maintain your status with the parent. That doesn't mean that you will show some kind of ego or superiority or something like that. You must speak in such a way that, yes, as an institution head, we are here to look into all these matters. You have come at the right place. That will make him more than happy, feeling that his problem might be solved. At least if you can give that feeling, that also is enough for any parent. I will tell you one incident. Like these days also we have some new rules that school must not sell books or that this and all. Now one of the parent just for ego, he want to show himself to the institution. What he did is he purchased books from outside, books in a random way. Now his child is bringing books which are not like others what there in the class. Now what I have to do? I cannot force myself or put the rule on him. You might find some one or two such stupids. In that case, you just have to say that, okay, no issues. You have purchased, but you did a wrong thing because the most of the class everyone is having a certain kind of set, only your child will have a different set which might not match with rest of the class. Now that person, if he understands, then he will say that, okay, I have already spent on this. If his talk is in that way, then that is good. Yani you have made him understand already what you wanted to say. If you have made him understand, then what I did here is I just replace his books and use those books in our internal matters. So that way he has become more than happy. Instead of complaining, he has become what we say supporter of our school. So his ego with which he has done that, because he did not spend less money by purchasing in the market. He spent the same amount, or maybe he spent more than what we would have given him. But now his ego was resolved. So this way, you sometimes you'll have to take a step back also. As a management, you cannot always speak with authority. Sometimes you have to take a step back. Now, another part is that you might have in your school certain leaders coming up or certain neighbors with some complaints that this and all. In all these scenarios, one thing you'll have to understand, a common point is never hurt the ego of other person. You might have a difference of opinion, you just make them understand that I only have a difference of opinion. I don't have any enmity or what you say, I'm not confronting you. That you need to make them understand, because if you hurt their ego, they will go at higher level to show their ego. In that way, it might damage your school's regular operations. So we had situations like this wherein neighbors coming and saying, we are hearing sound, it is getting disturbed, that, this, and all. As a school principal or a management, even that you might be a big school with 1000 plus children, or you might have your parents as influential persons, politicians, that, this, and all. You have all the tools just to put him down in a second. But that thing, what I say is, you have to utilize it as a last point. You never hurt the ego of anyone to that extent that he will leave his job, his daily to day routine, and start uh, going and complaining at every level and trying to prove himself. Instead, you don't hurt his ego, just acknowledge, make him understand the point or the purpose of your school, or just acknowledge and say, okay, instead of putting the vehicles here, we'll start putting it here. Or we can say that we'll put one person to guard so that it will not get disturbed your location. See, these are the common things. It is not specific to that point I'm telling. You can utilize at any place, whether it is with your staff member, or whether it is with the parent, or whether it is with any leader or anyone else. You never confront in such a way that it becomes a ego problem for the other person. You only make them understand that it is only a difference of opinion, or you have taken it in a wrong way. Actual the point is in this way. You can make them understand and make your life easier. Apart from this, for your staff, also for parents, you can have some entertaining part which most of you will have. This way, it will bring a good feeling related to your school in the parents, like having a picnic, or having some games, or maybe some fair or festival, food festival, wherein mothers will bring their food, some things which will give a connection and which will make them a positive feel in the school. Also, your staff members, you take them to some resort or some things, which most of us does, but still this is a required point. What I mean to say, if someone is not doing, they have to do that one. Likewise, the main the role of the principal or the management is motivation and understanding. It is not that authority and enforcement. Of course, in the background, that is what we will be doing, but we will be doing in a good way. Like in the start, I said, if your manager or your principal is a happy person and make everyone understand easily, or works in a amicable manner, in an understanding manner, then your staff will also behave in the same way with their students as well as with their parents. So the rule of the management is the way the most highest person in the hierarchy is, the same will replicate in the lower sections. So these are the few points I can say on which the principal or the in charges or the managers who are there in the school, they have to build their uh, school system based on these few points which I have given. I think we have completed our time limit. Thank you very much for giving me this chance. Like I always say, if there is any question or anything more elaborate or some point needs to be discussed, the viewers are welcome to question or to raise a point.
Any points from the teacher's side? Please put it. Sir is eagerly to answer your points. No.
Alhamdulillah, there are no any doubts, sir. The points were very clear and effective, sir. Jazakallah khair, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I hope everyone has understood well, and
Yes.
inshallah, that will benefit you what I expect. Thank you very
Inshallah.
much for listening to me and giving this chance, Omid and everybody.
Thank
Jazakallah
you,
khair.
sir. Jazakallah khair for having your wonderful experience. You put it to action. Really, these are the problems we are facing in these schools. Unless and until there is soft movement or cooperation between the staff and management, the school will not come up and reflect on the students. And finally, the standard of the school will go down. And today, the need of the hour is there should be a cooperation between the staff, students, management, and parents, and particularly management should act in such a way that teachers should feel confidence in the management, that the management is for us, and particularly for the principal, they should defend the teachers indirectly, but in the presence of the parents, we have to take care of the parents first. These are the things really we need, and our youngsters don't know about it, and there are a lot of chaos in the school in dealing with the lessons and movements with the staff. And really, sir, your experience very, very well. Yeah, you put it. I appreciate your experience. Although you have got so many things in your life, you have moved from but up to bottom. MashaAllah, really very expensive that you have done it in a marvelous manner. You have come up to the zenith point from the bottom. May Allah bless you and give you long life and good health to serve the community still better for years to come. MashaAllah, on behalf of the Ummah and myself as a vice president of the Ummah, thank you, sir. And
Thank you very
again,
much.
I thank you with my bottom of heart. Jazakallah al khair.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Again, we are meeting tomorrow with the Tamil session, and many good speakers are there. Sikandar Saab is there, and another new speaker from New College, English professor, is going to address the teachers. So please, all of you, attend. Thank you.